Sorry, we didn't need to end it yet.
Apparently not.
We only have 10 minutes because we're not a partner yet. Get back to me.
Tell me about him. Tell me, Steven.
Okay. The big thing about they're the largest, what is it?
Multinational.
They're biotech. Biggest biotech company in the world.
I like that. I like big words like that, yeah.
And they're also one of the largest food. They basically own food. Like when you're buying food, like I don't know if you realize it, but basically everything that you eat, everything you buy, like they own food.
Right.
96%
They control food.
of like produce that you buy was made by
That is quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean and
now you're talking this stuff like in the grocery stores, not necessarily like I get onto my local butcher and get some meat.
Well, yes and no. It depends. I mean,
okay.
There are people that fight companies like, but they're put out of business regularly. One of the things like is raw milk.
Right.
And the government would have you believe that raw milk is like horribly dangerous, and you might as well be drinking raw sewage.
Well,
70% of the antibiotics that are made in America go directly to our livestock to keep them alive long enough to butcher them.
Right.
And this is completely off topic, but if that's the case, I think I'd rather buy raw milk than it's estimated that 20% of the milk that we drink is actually pus from festering wounds that are in the belly of the cows that we're, hooking up and
That sounds horrible.
Yes. Okay. They modify, they add, like here's the thing. They put soy, like they put protein, like they added protein to soy.
Yeah, but protein is good for you.
Oh, that's great, but they genetically modified it, and then they make it resistant to biodegradable, which, by the way, after 20 years, only 3% of it was had degraded, and then they remade the package recently, and they took the word biodegradable off it, because it turns out...
What does that matter?
It's not, because it must not have been biodegradable. That's probably why they took it off.
Probably why,
after they were sued. And another
Makes
company,
a lot of sense.
they're the largest, most profitable biotech company in the world.
Well, that's a good thing.
They're
it's
also
capitalism here in
the
America.
largest. They've lost the most money in lawsuits.
They still make money.
The percentage that they lose is so insignificant. I mean, they just recently lost near $1 billion in a lawsuit. Like they lost. Like they were like, you know what? You're right. Have $960 million. In that year, they made $10 billion in profits.
It was a who cares, kind of a thing.
But I mean, obviously, they lost the lawsuit. They probably were, greatly, in error.
I mean, we're all about capitalism here, and you got to get to the top one way or another.
So, soy and corn.
Right. Yes. That is the top.
Who owns food? They own 90%, I believe, if not more, of all of the corn that is planted in America and soybean.
So they're an American company?
No, they're a multinational company.
Oh, okay.
That's
right.
Well, so they own all of this stuff. You might think, well, that's because they're the best, right? I mean, why would people buy their crap if it's not the best?
Yeah, I mean, it's like... Can I say... technology companies, they're obviously the best because that's where they are.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So that being said, let's go back.
They're the best because they sell the most, right?
They're the best, yes.
No, they're not. No, they're the best.
But they're the best because we put them there.
No, because they bullied us, because they tricked people, and they,
and they monopolized
with the people in charge.
Oh, that's
Can we
great.
say that? We should probably bleep that. This is a family channel.
No, just leave
Check
it.
the reply, girl. Okay. It's like, well, people are buying their seeds because they're the best, they're the most profitable, obviously.
But they're GMO seeds.
Well, see, here's the thing that you may not know, is that they genetically modified them that was the first time in history they patented, they copyrighted a living organism. They were like, this is different, we're going to make this thing that is better, and we're going to put a patent on it. And the government was like, Seems reasonable. The problem is that living things reproduce, and you know they're sexual. And the way that plants reproduce and propagate is through pollination. So you have a cornfield that has the GMO, and the wind blows, and it cross-pollinates.
Right.
And the next thing you know, guy across the street has it, and the guy down the block. But if it's a patented life form,
That means you now own the guy down the street and the guy on the blocks.
yeah. Well, no, the guy doesn't, because says you have to destroy your corn that you're not selling. You can't have it
Because
as
we
seed.
own
You
it.
can't replant. Yeah, because they own it. Like
Yeah.
you can make it and you can grow it. Like you buy the seed, they own it. You plant it, and then you can sell it, and it's consumed. But you can't keep it for seed. If you keep it for seed, like they'll sue you. So the
It's a
wind
monopoly.
Well, the wind blew, and now these people that bought their own corn, century corn, which it was been around forever, and people have been growing it forever. It's the good stuff. Is all polluted with GMOs,
Right.
which they didn't want, and now a company's coming and saying you can't replant your corn because it's genetically modified,
Right.
and they win because it's a lawsuit, and
But they have the patent on it.
Well, they technically are correct. Like those people have the patented thing. I don't think we ever should have allowed people to patent life.
No, I don't think they should even have the patent in the first place.
Well, I think when they were making it, I do not believe that everybody was corrupt that was making these decisions. I just think people, it's like it's a new thing. You don't necessarily know what to do with it. I mean, a lot of laws have been changed about technology recently, and it's a new thing. We didn't know. We made some bad decisions, and maybe we need to reverse them. What ends up happening is that basically all these people's land is corrupt with all these seeds that they can't have, and they either fight and they get sued and they go bankrupt, or they buy all of their stuff, and then all of a sudden has 90% of the market share.
Which is what they've done.
Well, it's exactly what they've done, and it looks like. And then when people argue about it, they're like, "Oh, is causing all of these suicides in India," and they're like, "Yeah, but why are people buying our seed if they don't love us?" And it's like
They don't have any other option.
Maybe they're buying your seed because you're forcing them to, and they're committing suicide because it's horrible. Yes. The alarming thing is,
thank you.
They said that the average person, the way that they commit suicide is by drinking chemicals. They said that they'll drink a liter of pesticide, and that's their way of committing suicide.
That's horrendous.
Well, and the thing is that they're spraying this on your food. Don't take a liter of it, because that would kill you. We'll just spray it all over your food. That's fine. It'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
So, what are we saying about?
Don't like them. They're a multinational.
So there's that word again, multinational.
They're inherently evil. So
I've never heard that word used in a good sense.
No, they're a monopoly. They're monogamous. That's probably not. That's probably the wrong word. Don't even Google that.
No. All right.
It's time to go. It's been fun. Love ya.
It's been real.
We're gonna cut out all that crap.
Oh. Okay. All right.